Hi, I'm Dr. Will Weber. Just call me Will. I'm instructor for this Math 142 class, and I want to take you through the syllabus. So here we go. This is Math 142, Recalc 2, Winter 2015. Prerequisite, of course, is a C or better in Math 141. And I like to point out that although the prerequisite is a C or better, I really expect that you know everything from the previous course. In fact, all of your previous courses. So if there's things that you're weak on, if there's some algebra that you're weak on, then we need to bring you up to speed. So ask questions and come get help. I'm more than happy to to help people succeed in doing mathematics. And it takes not just knowing 70% of the material, it takes knowing everything. Another job that I've done over the years is I'm an electrical lighting specialist, so we deal with permits and whatnot. And when you do a job and then the inspector comes, they don't look and say, "Hey, you did 70% of the stuff," even though the test I had to pass in order to get my certification to be an electrical administrator and an electrical journeyman. I only had to pass 70% of the test, but yet when it comes time to be inspected, you got to get it all right. They don't say, "Oh, you got 70%. That's good enough." No, it doesn't work that way. Math is similar. I mean, you only needed 70% or C or better to get into Math 142, but I expect you know everything from Math 141 and everything. Anyway, you've made it this far, so you know that we are on WAMAP, www.wamap.org. The course ID for this course is 8997, and the enrollment key is 142, but you already know that because you've made it this far. So here's my info. I am Dr. William T. Weber. My office is LDC 221, and my online office is here. Just click on this link. If I'm in my office, I should be in my online office as well. You can either come to my physical office and see me face to face, or click on that link and it will bring you to an online environment, which I'm also logged into. There's a whiteboard we can write on. There's a chat window you can do. If you've got a microphone, you can turn your microphone on. If you've got a video, you can turn your video on. I mean, I use all of them. I don't like to type in the chat window, so I tend to say just turn my microphone on and talk. But there's lots of different ways we can use that. If you think I should be in the online office, sometimes I forget to log in when I come into my office. Send me an email, send me give me a quick phone call and say, "Will, you get on the online office and we can work on some problems?" It's like, sure. So anyway, generally my office hours are in the morning. I have them Monday to Thursday, 10:30 to 12. 10:30 to 12. But I'm around other times of the day too. So if you need to get in touch with me, make an arrangement, or just stop in. I mean, really. Just because this is an online class doesn't mean you can't actually talk to me face to face. I'm here. Come to my office. It's a good way to work. So anyway, but if online is the way to do it for you, then make an arrangement, and I'll be in the online office at a time that's convenient to you. So let me know. So the phone number here is 360-383-3566. Give me a call. If I'm not in, the voicemail will work and it'll send it to my email, so I actually will listen to it. Or send me an email here at wweber.watcom.ctc.edu. Now, we're going to use a couple different textbooks for this class. The book that we use for Math 141 is pretty good for 141. I really don't like it for 142, particularly the first half. So the first half, we're going to use this other book called Trigonometry by Michael Correll. It's a free open source book. You can click on this link right here to get the download, to download the PDF version. There's also a link on the course page to that textbook. Get a copy of it, print it out, or just keep it as a PDF file on your computer. That's all I do. I don't have it printed. I just use it online. But anyway, the first half of the course will really come out of this textbook. I like the order of it better. It's got some more challenging problems than our textbook does. And then the second half of the course, we will be back to the same book we used for Math 141. Okay, where are we now? Topics include, of course, this is mainly a trigonometry class. Towards the end of the quarter, we do polar coordinates and polar graphs and parametric equations and parametric graphs. And then we do just a couple of days on an introduction to limit, which is really the first topic of a Calc 1 class. So anyway, there's the course outcomes. These are things that the department recognizes as things we expect students will learn, actually be able to do by the end of a class in Math 142. When you're studying for exams and things, this is a good place to look for a list of things to study, because these are the main topics that we expect you to do, and these are the things I will be assessing. So anyway, okay, now I gotta give you a grade, so I gotta base that grade on something, and here's some things that we're going to do. The homework actually is not part of your grade, but homework is assigned for each section of the textbook, and it's listed below. I'll scroll down to it in a moment here. There's other practice problems within the WAMAP page. None of the homework was collected. However, the only way to get good at doing something is to practice, and that's what I see homework as. Some people see it as busy work. I mean, is it busy work when you're learning how to skateboard, that you spend hours and hours and hours at the skateboard park crashing, only to finally get to a point where you can do a bunch of tricks without crashing? Or how many hours does it take to learn how to play the piano or the violin or something? Anything that you want to do well, it just takes practice. And math is the same way. You want to get good at math, it takes practice. So that's what the homework is, a bunch of problems for you to work on and practice with it, and see different types of things that come up. So practice. Yeah. So that's not actually part of your grade, that's just what you do in order to get a good grade. Now the things that I will actually grade you on include discussions, quizzes, there's a project, and there's a couple of exams. So the discussions, this is wrong. There's not 5 discussion forums in this course. There are actually 9, 10, 11, 12 discussion forums in this course, I think, something like that. There's a lot of them. There's like one every week. And participation in the discussions is required. We're looking for substantial contribution from each person. Now, the substantial contribution means you've got a question on one of the homework problems. You ask the question. That's a contribution that's going to generate discussion and help people to learn. Maybe you go in and you see a question someone's asked and you figure that problem out and you can help. You can show how to do it. That's a substantial contribution. Maybe you just, all the questions that people have asked are answered, and you just want to say, hey, here's a problem I worked on, and this is how I did it. Or, another thing is, hey, I found this other website which is a really good link with good resources, and so you post that, and there's lots of different ways to do it. I will also be on these discussion forums helping people out. It's a good way. Generally, I see a couple people try to answer questions or get started on it, and then I'll point out some of the subtleties in the problems or some of the major issues if people aren't finding the major issues. But I'm certainly very active on those forums to help people out. That's 20% of your grade. That's a pretty substantial part of your grade. Just every week you got to get on and do something. You got to be part of the group, part of the learning experience here online. Quizzes. There are 9 quizzes. In fact, essentially every week that doesn't have a test in it, there's a quiz. And the quizzes will appear on Wednesdays. I think one of the videos that I have out there says they appear on Thursdays. That's for earlier quarter that I made that video. But anyway, they appear on Wednesdays, and they're due midnight on Sunday night. And that's midnight WAMAP time, which is actually 11:59. and it's by WAMAP's clock. Your clock may be off by a little bit, and so generally just don't push the limits. That being said, you are allowed 2 late passes throughout the quarter. So at some point, the quiz is over. The late pass works for 24 hours. So if the quiz is over, but you haven't finished yet or whatever, you say, I want to use my late pass, and it gives you till Monday at 11:59. So it gives you 1 extra day. If that time has already been used up, so it's already Tuesday, then you can't use that late pass. That late pass will only extend the deadline for 24 hours. Anyway, you have 2 of them you can use at some point during the quarter. Okay. The last question on each quiz actually has a link to upload a file. If you get any of the quiz questions wrong, then I want to see the work that you did so I can assign partial credit. So snap a picture of it, put all those pictures, whatever, if there's several of the problems, into a Word document, and send me that file. And then I can see your work and I can apply partial credit appropriately. WAMAP will grade them right or wrong. So if you get them right, it's great. It just says, here, you got it right, there's the points. Generally, you'll get 3 attempts at each question. So you may try it once or twice, and maybe you're not putting the input in right. Maybe you're getting the wrong answer and you need to try to do it a different way. But anyway, you get 3 attempts, and after 3 attempts, if you still haven't gotten it right, then I want to see your work that got you there, right? Correct answer on any one of the 3 attempts gives you full credit for each of the problems, okay? So anyway, I will drop the lowest of those 9 quizzes, and the total is worth 25% of your grade. Right. There is a project towards the end of the quarter. It's a WAMAP assignment. It's not all constructed yet, but you'll see it. I'll let everyone know when it's up and running. A bunch of questions related to parametric equations, and the due date is on the calendar, which I'll scroll down to in a minute, or maybe in the second half of this video. Yes, second half of this video we'll look at the calendar. But it's due on like the 10th week or something like that, almost at the end of the quarter. Okay. There are 2 exams. There's the midterm exam and a final exam. Each of them is 25% of your grade. The dates are given on the calendar, which I said I'll get to in a moment. They are on campus. The department requires that 50% of your grade or more is proctored. So these 2 times you will come on campus and take a test. Actually, let me scroll down and look at the calendar so we can see it. The first test is scheduled for Wednesday, February 18, and the final is March 26. It will be 7 to 9 p.m. at night in LDC 221. No, that's my office. LDC 211 is where they will be. If you can't be there at that time, then let me know. We'll make arrangements. I know in an online situation like this, it's tough to get everyone in the same place at the same time, but we'll do our best and make exceptions for those that we have to. That we use the testing center sometimes for people who can't be here at the marked time. But anyway, yeah, there's those 2 tests. Let me scroll back up here. You are allowed. I went by it. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, midterm and final exam. You are allowed a sheet of notes 8.5 inches by 11 inches or smaller. Both sides, remember that is 1 sheet, not 2 sheets, 1 side each. It's 1 sheet, both sides. It's pretty easy to say. You should bring a photo ID, just because I don't know people as well in an online class, so what people look like. Anyway, yeah, there'll be those 2. I'm going to end this video right here and make a second half.